So Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier was just officially announced by Dana White at the UFC 300 press conference. And I've got a couple of things to say about this. I feel like this is kind of dirty. And the way that I say that is I feel like a lot of the fighters at UFC 300 were potentially fighting for an opportunity to fight against Islam Makhachev. Like, I feel like Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan probably both thought that if they won that fight, they were going to get the title shot against Islam Makhachev. And I could almost even say the same about Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. I feel like both of those guys probably also felt as though if they won the fight, then they would be the next in line to fight Islam Makhachev. But obviously what the UFC has pulled off behind the scenes is Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. And as I said, I do feel like it feels a little bit snaky. And also, I also feel like there are probably more deserving contenders and much more competitive contenders for Islam Makhachev as well. Like, I know that this is the hardest cope of all time. I do think that Charles Oliveira beat Arman Tsarukyan in rounds 1 and 3, but with that being said, Arman Tsarukyan is the most deserving title challenger for Islam Makhachev, and I don't think it's Poirier. Poirier just beat, the number 13 ranked Benoit Saint-Denis, and before that he lost to Justin Gaethje, who just lost to Max Holloway. I don't know, I've kind of got something to say about that, you know what I mean? Dustin Poirier is literally there to pad Islam Makhachev's legacy. That's how I feel about this fight. I think Islam Makhachev is going to go into this fight against Dustin Poirier as a minus 500 favorite, and I think he's going to finish Dustin Poirier in the first 3 rounds. That's kind of how I see it. I know people love Dustin Poirier. I know there's a lot of Dustin Poirier fans out there, but I don't think this is a good matchup for Poirier at all. And it is the championship fight, obviously, but I think that Poirier is not deserving of the opportunity to start with. I think that Arman Tsarukyan versus Islam Makhachev is a significantly more competitive matchup than this. And also, that's it. That's honestly it. Like, I mean, Dustin Poirier literally beat, the number 13 ranked Benoit Saint-Denis in his last fight. And in that fight, Benoit Saint-Denis was looking fantastic in the wrestling and the grappling, was taking down Dustin Poirier without a lot of trouble, and then he gassed out and he got caught. And I did pick Poirier to beat Benoit, but I didn't pick Poirier thinking that he was then going to get a title shot after beating Benoit Saint-Denis. I mean, what? This is crazy. Islam Makhachev, I mean, his legacy is just going to get built up, man. Like, he beat Volkanovski twice. One of them, beating Volkanovski on 5 days notice it was, and Volk had a bit of a belly on him, and unfortunately for Volk, that's kind of tainted his legacy a little bit, but yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, people are saying Islam Makhachev's like one of the greatest lightweights of all time. I mean, I'm looking at his resume right now. I'm seeing a win over short notice Dan Hooker. I'm seeing a win over short notice Bobby Green. I'm seeing a win over full camp Charles Oliveira, which is incredibly impressive. A win over Alexander Volkanovski, which some people feel like he lost. I think that Islam won the fight, but some people don't. And then another win over Volk. So he's only ever defended his title against featherweights. And now Poirier, who's definitely past his prime, without a doubt past his prime, lost to Gaethje, lost to Oliveira. Now he's fighting Makhachev. Makhachev's going to smoke him, dude. I think Makhachev beats Poirier without an issue. But Makhachev is a high confidence pick for me. I'm looking at this fight and I'm just thinking, it's just free legacy for Makhachev. I feel this fight. I don't think this is a good fight at all. And also the thing about Poirier is someone commented, which is hilarious. Where is it? It was something like, "Don't be silly, jump that gilly." Islam Makhachev's not dumb. Islam Makhachev is going to be able to defend guillotine chokes. In fact, guillotine choke attempts for Islam Makhachev will be welcomed because it means that Islam is going to be able to get Poirier down to the ground easily without really any issue whatsoever, to be honest. Because when you pull guillotine, you go to the ground and you go underneath the opponent. Like, you're in bottom position, right? Makhachev's going to dominate, man. I think Makhachev's going to smoke him. I think Makhachev's going to finish the fight within 3 rounds. I think Poirier's the better striker. I do think Islam Makhachev is a very good striker, though. I think that Islam Makhachev's striking has clearly been improved, and I don't think the second Volkanovski fight is what proves that. I actually think it was the first fight that proved that Islam's striking is getting very good. But even then, I don't think he's going to be able to outbox Dustin Poirier. He's not going to be able to outstrike Dustin Poirier. He's just going to go up there and take down Poirier. I feel like without much issue whatsoever. Islam Makhachev is absolutely massive for 155 pounds. He is gigantic. And I think that he's going to be able to take down Poirier without really any issue whatsoever. And I think he's just going to finish him with ground and pound in the first 3 rounds. That's literally how I feel about the fight. I don't really have much more to add to that. I mean, it feels snaky, man. And when you really say it out loud and you look at Dustin Poirier's resume and you see that he's 2-2 in his last 4 fights on a 1-fight win streak over Benoit Saint-Denis, the number 13 ranked fighter in the promotion right now. Maybe he's even like 12th. But, the point is 12 or 13th ranked fighter. And now he's fighting Makhachev. Come on, man. It's June the 1st, so it is relatively short notice. It's in about 6 weeks' time, but I'm sure they probably were sorting this out a couple weeks ago. I mean, what else is there to say? It's in Newark, New Jersey. What is the rest of the card looking like, I guess? Well, let's just have a little talk about that before I leave us all there. But yeah, I don't really have anything more to add, to be honest with you. It's kind of just how I see it. Okay, this card is that card. I was looking at this card on stream today, actually, and I was thinking, like, banger fights, but it was lacking name value. I mean, like, these are going to be the early prelims. Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki will probably be on the normal prelims. This is a banger of a fight, man. I'm hyped for this. I'm hyped for this. Dude, this is actually... this card doesn't have name value, but when you look at it, this is a banger card. I mean, Kopylov versus Almeida. I mean, come on, man. This is a great card. But Jailton Almeida versus Romanov main card fight. I'm not going to do this into the mic. Delidze versus Hernandez. Like, come on, man. We can do better than this. Yeah, this needed the name value. I feel like this is a card that's going to get more fights added to it. Actually, Strickland versus Costa was recently announced for this card, but once again, I think it's going to have at least one more. I mean, pay-per-views these days are like $85 US, aren't they? I mean, it needs more, man. This card needs more. Come on, guys. You can find something. You can find something to add to this card. But anyway, that's kind of how I feel. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That was kind of just a bit of a Dustin Poirier letdown, wasn't it? I really was kind of putting Dustin Poirier down in the video. I don't think this is a good matchup for him whatsoever. I think Makhachev's really good. I think he's just going to smoke him. That's really how I feel about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.